Good evening to you. Our top stories tonight. Private and public sector workers will not receive a 13-month salary this year due to economic reasons. The Executive Director for Employment, Véronique Bresson, made the announcement at a press conference this afternoon. The bill to suspend the payment under the Employment Act will go before the Assembly in October, after the Cabinet approved for a suspension of the 13th month salary pay yesterday. Ms. Bresson said, however, that private businesses which can afford to pay a 13-month salary to their workers this year may do so. She added that as of 2022, end-of-year remuneration for workers will be based on their appraised performance.
Following consultations that was held with stakeholders last month by the ministry brought up paper to Cabinet yesterday for a decision whether the 13-month pay that is due at the end of 2021, whether this will be applicable this year. And following discussions in Cabinet, it's been decided and approved that for this year, the country will not be able to afford to pay a 13-month pay to its workers at the end of the year. It's obvious the economy, although it's recovering slowly, but at the same time, we're not at the level we were pre-COVID-19. So the government had decided that we need to give time to the economy to recover before the benefits can be passed on to the workers. Another subject that was broached by Cabinet yesterday is in regards to this same 13-month pay, that they feel it needs to be performance-based going forward. When it was introduced back in 2015, that was the idea, that it is performance-based, done on merit, not just paid automatically to each worker. So now the ministry has been given the task to further consult with stakeholders and then come up with a concept that is suitable for all, private sector and the public sector, for it to be implemented as of 2022.
The Seychelles Energy Commission has announced that the electricity tariff for the coming period of October to December 2021 will decrease by 8 cents following a decrease in the cost of fuel in the third quarter of 2021. The weighted average fuel price charged to PUC by CEPEC over the third quarter of this year, that is from July to September, has decreased. The next review of the electricity tariff based on fuel price will be announced towards the end of December. The National Assembly has voted in favor of abolishing the law that created APDA, the Agency for Protection Against Drug Use and Rehabilitation. It was Vice President Ahmed Afif who presented the bill to the Assembly, stating that the closure of APDA as an agency does not mean that the rehabilitation program will stop, but only move under the Ministry of Health. He also stated that this will allow for some savings following deliberations. The Assembly approved the bill by a vote of 21 in favor and 6 against. The sea cucumber season for 2021-2022 will open a week later than previously planned. It will run from October the 8th till the 16th of June next year.
Unlike the previous years, the Seychelles Fishing Authority will not be renewing licenses. From now on, boat owners will have to apply for a new license before they set sail. The SFA will also be doing an independent stock assessment to have a clear idea of what the sea cucumber population is like. The result will determine if there will be a change in the quota of sea cucumbers that the 25 license holders are able to harvest out of the 3 approved by the authority.
The last sea cucumber independent survey was done in 2004-2005. And this year is different, where we will be adopting a co-management approach. And what that means, we will be talking to the sector and including the sector in our research. So we have plans for 2 vessels 2 sea cucumber commercial vessels to help with the sea cucumber survey. So they will be diving with our scientists. They will be analyzing the data with us. And I think this is all in line with transparency of the fishery. I've always said this, that no one knows the sea better than a fisherman. And I think it is important that the sea cucumber fishermen themselves are engaged in something that's going to affect their livelihoods.
The assessment will take place in November this year and March next year in conjunction with this sea cucumber harvest season. It will cost SFA some 1 million rupees. It is hoped that the result of the assessment will contribute towards a more sustainable sea cucumber harvest.
President Wavell Ramkalawan has today announced the appointment of 2 new CEOs and a liaison officer for Pralin. Ms. Anne Rosette is the new Chief Executive Officer of the Seychelles Investment Board. She is a professional with over 30 years of experience in relevant key positions within both the private and public sector in Seychelles and in the UK. Ms. Rosette has been working at the Seychelles breweries for the past 7 years, and prior to her appointment, she was occupying the post of Customer Marketing Manager. The Seychelles Trading Company has a new CEO. Mrs. Siana Bistoke is by profession a well-established businesswoman in the construction field as well as in the tourism and hospitality domain. Mrs. Bistoke was appointed as a member of the board of the Seychelles Trading Company in February this year, a post she has occupied until her new appointment. Both appointments take effect from the 1st of October. And following the announcement in November 2020 that Pralin and Ladier would fall directly under the office of the President, President Ramkalawan has today appointed Vincent Cedras as the liaison officer for Pralin. Part of Mr. Cedras' responsibilities will be to ensure effective consultation and improved communication for matters relating to the island. Mr. Cedras is a Pralinois and has extensive experience in the domain of structural design and project management. He is also the chairperson of Special Olympics Seychelles. Mr. Cedras' appointment takes effect immediately. 11 students who were best overall performers in different programs and levels and who graduated last year at the Seychelles Tourism Academy have been honored for their efforts, dedication and achievement throughout their time at the STA. This was during a meeting with the Minister responsible for tourism, Sylvestre Radogon, at his office at Botanical House. During the meeting, Minister Radogon presented each graduate with a token of appreciation for their hard work. He told the former STA students to persevere in their career as the tourism industry offers a lot of potential for career development. The STA's director, Terence Max, said while the COVID pandemic disrupted learning at the academy last year, which posed a challenge for students, the situation is slowly returning to normal this year.
At the peak of COVID-19, we had to literally close down the academy. But we didn't stop there. We tried to, like all the other PCs, we came up with some innovative ways of still trying to be able to deliver to the students. So we adopted the virtual class delivery, whereby students were able to log in from remotely for them to be able to continue with their studies. However, we are very relieved this year that gradually the pandemic is under control, with the majority of our students now being vaccinated. So life is getting a little bit back to normal, and we are actually engaging students physically on campus at this moment in time. And more so, moving towards normalcy, we are also looking towards the calendar whereby students will be able to go and continue with their work-based experience as per normal, and it starts with familiarizations for certain groups starting this week, and then in the next 2 months or so they will be all going out for their 6 months industry placements.
And that's it for now. I'll be back with all the day's news in Creole in just under an hour's time. Goodbye.